Vera Thomas began having lower abdominal pain, difficulty with bowel movements, subsequent infection, and had been essentially worked up and treated there for, I think it was almost 8 months before her daughter picked her up and brought her down here.
And a week later, she took me to the emergency room where Dr. Chowdhury immediately knew what was wrong and did immediate surgery.
And we were able to determine that this was really all coming from her colon. She had had a colonoscopy done 3 different times up in Oklahoma where they were unable to get past a certain point in the colon because it was essentially blocked. So she had a kind of an obstructing growth in her colon that had perforated and caused infection to spread into her back. So when I first saw her, I immediately told her that we needed to treat this right away.
I felt like I was dying. My daughter said, "No, I won't let you."
And at that time we did what we call a divert her colon, which meant that we brought her colon up to her skin level and it drained into a colostomy bag. Now, that's quite a drastic thing for her to have gone through, but it was a significant benefit, especially in her debilitated state, that we were able to do this without having to make a big cut on her. Because if we had to do an open abdominal surgery when she was so malnourished and deconditioned, her healing and her time in the hospital and recovery afterwards would have been significantly impacted and prolonged. So despite as big of a surgery as that was, the great thing was that it initially started to treat the source of the problem that she had, which was her bad colon. And thankfully, the specimen revealed the colon itself was actually not cancerous, which was an option or a possibility that it could have been. But it was really from what we call diverticulosis or diverticular disease. And she had had a chronic diverticulitis that had essentially obstructed and then finally perforated. So that was the process that she had going on. But once we took the bad part of the colon out, the source was gone, the infection did clear up, and she did have, certainly still a prolonged recovery because of how deconditioned she was.
Dr. Chowdhury played a big part in everything, in the healing and everything. Probably bigger than he thinks.
When people are in that kind of vulnerable position, they just want help. And it was, again, it's always my pleasure to be able to be the one that can help them.